Hi friends, I'm Yakuta Karkhanawala. So today we are going to see three important things. One is comma operator, then break and continue statements which are used inside a loop. So first one is comma operator. Comma operators is used as a separator. That is, if you want to separate some particular statements or operands, then we can use a comma operator. Let's see how to use comma operator as a separator. We have integer data type, then we have written a equal to 5, means integer a equal to 5 means we are declaring a variable a whose initial value is 5 and it is of integer data type. In the same line, if we want to add more than one variables, what we'll do is we'll use comma and then write b equal to 3. So b is another variable which we are declaring as an integer data type and the initial value is 3. Similarly, if I write comma c equal to 2 means c is now my third variable of integer data type and the starting value is equal to 3. And the statement with a semicolon. So in this complete line, we are declaring three variables a, b and c with some starting value and all these three variables are of integer data type. The same thing we can do it in another way also. How? That is, I have three lines. In each line, I have mentioned integer a equal to 5. That is the declaration of the first variable a. In the second line, I have the declaration of the variable b whose initial value is 3. Again, it's an of integer data type. The third line is I am declaring a variable c whose initial value is 2. This also is of integer data type. So instead of doing this in three different lines, we can use a comma operator and do it in one single line. Next is a comma operator can be used as an operator. Operator means to perform some particular operation. I have mentioned a statement like this way. C is equal to in bracket a equal to 1 comma b equal to 2 comma and a plus b. The first and second expression will be executed by the compiler and then afterwards it will be neglected. While whatever the value will get in the third expression, that value will be stored in the variable c. So in that case, whenever we'll display the value of c, in that case, what would be the output we'll get is 3. How 3? Because a equal to 1 is executed first. Then b is equal to 2 is executed. The third expression is a plus b means 1 plus 2. The value is equal to 3 and this 3 value gets stored into the variable c. It means this comma operator returns the rightmost operand, that is a plus b, which is our rightmost operand in an expression. So this value is stored in the variable c. It evaluates the first two expressions and then it rejects them. Let's see one more example of a comma operator. Now I have written a statement c is equal to in bracket two parts. The first part is printf hello and the second part is only the value 5. So I have two parts in this particular bracket. It means the rightmost value, that is c, 5 would be stored inside C. But before storing 5 value inside C, the first part will be executed by a compiler. Then I've written a printf statement. So printf C. So the 5 value would be stored in C after evaluating the first operand. So the output we'll get is hello because of the first part as it will be executed, and then afterwards the second part is executed, that is 5 which is stored in C, and then the value of C is printed. So I'll get C colon 5. Next is comma operators. It has the least precedence. Precedence means the priority. Out of all the operators available in C program, the comma operator has the lowest precedence, or you can say the priority. Let us understand this point with an example. I have an variable C of integer data type. Then C is equal to 3, 4, 8. We have two operators here. One is equal and another is comma. Since comma has the least priority, equal has higher priority than comma operator. So in that case, we'll get C equal to 3 will be evaluated first, then 4 will be executed, and then the 8 value would be executed. If we want to display the value of C, then we'll get the value of C is equal to 3. 4 and 8 will just be executed and ignored by the compiler. Also, comma operators can be used in loops, specifically for loop. So I have here for loop. Then we have three parts: initialization, condition, and update part. In initialization, if I want to initialize two variables at the same time in this for loop, I can do it using comma operator. So here you can see I have two variables I and j. I is initialized to 1, j is initialized to 9. Then I have the condition here, that is I less than 5. The third part is the update part. In update also I want to update more than one variables at the same time. Then in that case use comma operator. So I want to update I by incrementing the value of I, and I want to decrease the value of j. So I'll use j minus 1. So you can see here there are 5 different expressions, 2 expression in initialization and 2 expressions in update part, each separated by comma. Now if I'll display the value of I and j, let's see what output I'll get. So first is I is equal to 1, j equal to 9. Then we'll check the condition. I less than 5, that is 1 less than 5 is true. We'll execute the printf statement and the output would be I is equal to 1, j is equal to 9. Next step is to update the loop variables. So I would be incremented, j would be decremented. So now I becomes 2 and j becomes 8. Check the condition. 2 less than 5. Now the condition would be 2 less than 5 because the value of I is 2. Condition is true, display the value of I and j. So 2 and 8 would be displayed. Again update the value of I and j. So I becomes 3 and j becomes 7. Check the condition. 3 is less than 5. So the condition is true. So 3 and 7 is been displayed onto the screen. Next is update the value of I and j. So now we have 4 and 6. 4 is less than 5. True. So I and j is displayed. So the value of I will get 4 and the value of j is equal to 6. Again go and update the value. Now this time the value of I would be equal to 5. And so the condition becomes 5 less than 5, which is false. So the condition becomes 5 less than 5, which is false. It will come out of the loop and won't print the value of I and j. Remember one more thing in comma operator is that it should not be used in the condition part. Comma operator can be used in the initialization part or it can be used in update part, but it cannot be used in a condition part. If you want to check for more than one condition, then go for logical operators. We'll be seeing two important statements that are used in loops. One is break and another is continue statement. So first is break. Break statement is used to exit or terminate a loop. Break is used in two different. It is used in loops. Also break is used in switch. Switch we have already seen in the previous video. So break can be used to terminate a loop or it can be used in switch to exit from a switch statement. Let's understand this with an example. In this particular for loop, we have three parts: initialization, condition, and update. Inside the for loop, we are going to put some condition. If this condition is true, whatever condition you mention here, and if this condition is true, then we'll execute the break statement. So when this condition is true, break is executed, and if break is executed, then will come out of the loop. But if the condition is false, then the for loop would be executed again and again. Let's see this particular format of break statement using a simple example. I have a for loop where I have initialized the value of I with 1. My condition is I less than equal to 10 and I'm updating the value of I by 1, so I plus plus. Inside the for loop, I have kept one condition. If the value of I is equal 5, then execute break. If the condition is false, that is I equal to 5 is false, then print the value of I. Let's see what would be the output of this particular program. So initially I is equal to 1. This condition is false, so break will not be executed and I'll display the value of I, that is 1 is displayed onto the screen. Again increment the value of I, that is 2. 2 equal 5 condition is false. This condition is false, so break is again not executed and display the value of I, so 2. Similarly, we will go on up till 4. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 would be displayed onto the screen. At one moment of time, we'll have the value of I is equal to 5. So whenever the value of I is equal to 5, so 5 equal 5 is true, break is executed. Since in that case, whenever break is executed, it will exit the for loop and execute the statements outside the for loop. So our output in this case is only 1, 2, 3, 4. Though we are using this for loop to execute it for 10 times. But because of the break statement in this and this condition, our loop got terminated in between. Break statement also used in switch statement. So break is used to exit the switch statement. Let's understand with this with a simple diagram. I have switch in bracket 2. So your compiler will come to the first case, case 1. Since the 2 value is not equal to 1, it will go to the next case. So this 2 value is equal to the case value 2. Statement 2 is executed and then we have written break here. So break is executed means it will come out of the switch statement and execute all the statements outside the switch. Okay, so the next is continue statement. Continue statement is also used in loops. What does continue statement does it? It bypass or skip some steps in your loops. Continue does not terminate the loop as that of your break statement. Break terminates your loop, but continue will skip some iterations of your loop. Let's understand this with a simple statement. We have a for loop where we have in bracket initialization condition and update. Inside the for loop, I have some condition for continue. If the condition is true, continue is executed. Whenever continue is executed, it will skip all the statements after your continue statements and immediately go to the update part of the for loop. After update, again it will check the condition and it will come inside the loop. Let's see with an example. I have a for loop again similar to the break statement that the value of I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Means this loop will be executed 10 times starting from 1 up to 10. Now my condition is if I equal 5 means whenever the value of I becomes 5, I'll execute the continue statement. If the condition is false, I'll display the value of I. So in that case, what would be my output? The first I is equal to 1. The condition is true. This condition is false. This false. That is 1 equal 5 is false. So continue is not executed and I'll get the display of I. That is 1 is displayed. Then 2 is displayed, 3 is displayed and 4 is displayed. Similar to that of the break statement. But at one point of time, the value of I would become 5. So I equal 5 becomes true and a continue is executed. The compiler will go back to the static statement of your for loop, specifically the update part, and it will skip this particular part, that is printf I. So 5 will never be displayed onto the screen, and now my new value of I would become 6 because of this increment operation. 6 equal 5 is false and print the value of I, so 6 has been printed. Similarly 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 10 the values would be printed. When this condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop. So as you can see here, in case of continue, because of this condition, that is I equal 5, printf got skipped. So my output was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 got skipped and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In case of break, it used to exit the loop, but in case of continue, it will skip some part of your statements of. So that is the main difference between break and continue. So today we have seen three important things. One was comma operator, then break statement and then continue statement. So that's all for now. Goodbye. Thank you.